Can you tell us update where he stands?
Yeah, he's going to get some individual work today, see how he feels. He's progressing nicely, and we'll get some individual work. Don't know about the team stuff yet, but let's see how he is through individual.
What about CJ, and what exactly is going on there?
Yeah, he's working through it, and we're not expecting anything real long term, but he's just working through an injury, and we'll see. Obviously, I don't put any expectations on when he'll get back, but he's working hard. The training staff's working hard, and we'll see how when we get him back.
Parris Campbell out here too. How much time did he miss, and how much did he miss in that time? I mean, and what does he need to do to catch up?
Yeah, again, his same guy, same thing, working through some things. And yeah, I got faith that he's caught up to speed as far as mental reps.
How do you go about getting Cooper back involved and making sure he gets enough reps so you guys can evaluate sort of where he's at?
Yeah, like I said, I've told you guys before, he's getting a lot of the reps that's in walkthrough on the side. So every rep that happens, he's getting a rep and mentally. But other than that, he's got to get caught up as far as getting his body back ready to go, and he's got to get caught up when he gets team reps and the developmental reps and all the reps that he gets. You got to take advantage of them.
What do you want to see from the offense out here today?
Yeah, every time you step on the field, I've told you guys this. Anytime you step on the field, whether it's practice, whether it's a preseason game, whether it's a regular game, you're trying to reinforce your habits, right? Your habits of your fundamentals, your details, right? Your details of knowing what to do and everybody being on the same page. Your details of, tackling, blocking, block destruction, catching the football, ball security, taking the ball away, and then being smart situational football. And then you're trying to show your effort, your relentless effort on every play. Your toughness. And so anytime we step on the field, we're trying to reestablish our core values, our habits, because we know our habits is what leads to our results.
Nick, welcome to Foxborough. What are your expectations of joint practices today with the Patriots now that you're here?
Yeah, again, same thing. Just every time we step out in the field, we're trying to get better. We're trying to get better. We get to go against another team, a team that we've had joint practices with before. That I got a lot of respect for Coach Mayo and his staff. So looking forward to going against another team to get good work in on different phases of football.
Nick Sirianni talked about
a rule about fights.
Yeah, no fights. Right. That's what you're coming out here to. You're coming out here to work. And you're coming out here to get good reps. You're not allowed to fight. There's no fights in games, right? You never see big brawls in games, but some reason you see them at practices. And so our job is to come out here and handle ourselves just like a game. Just like if we want our tackling to be sure in a game, our approach out here has to be good. Same thing with our composure. If you want your composure to be good in game, your approach has to be the same out here.
Will you have repercussions?
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni talked about how with Quinyon Mitchell, he didn't want to overload him while he's learning two very different positions. In finding the best configuration on secondary, how do you balance putting people in places to learn positions and the limited amount of snaps in preseason to figure that best combination out?
Yeah, you say, the limited amount of snaps, we're getting a lot of practice reps, right? And those are game-like for us. So he's getting a lot of work there. Again, we're trying to have people be multiple. He is a rookie, and he's done a good job of it. But obviously, when you playing nickel, playing corner, it's two different positions. So, what we think today might not be necessarily what we think in a week from now. It's all about how he progresses and where he is.
Makai keeps getting worse with the ones. Is there consideration to seeing Steen at tackle so you have that flexibility on game days?
Always want your offensive lineman to have flexibility, especially guys that could be backups, right? And Makai has that flexibility as far as has played tackle, has begun to get a lot of work at guard, and that goes the same thing for Steen. So again, you want versatility in those guys because it's different than other positions. Like you only have 3 backups going into a game usually, right? You have 5 guys that are starting, you have 8 guys that are up for a game, so multiple guys have to be able to play multiple positions. And so that's anybody that's in a role where they even if he, no matter what, you need that extra work and that ability to be versatile.
As you start to get to know this new offense that you guys are using, how do you find the balance with using Jalen Hurts' mobility, in the passing game, but also in the running game?
Yeah, Jalen's a great player. He's he's continued to develop on all phases of his game, and our job is to put him in positions to succeed in the things he does well. And so always are cautious. If we're talking about the run game, we're always cautious with him on that as far as how we run runs, how we protect the runs, the type of runs we do. So we put him in a safe position, and then we also expect him to take care of himself out there and not take those hits that we know can be detrimental.
Gerard Mayo said yesterday, y'all on the same page about what you wanted to script out today. What did you guys want to accomplish? And also, you said you gave him some advice for joint practices.
We just went over our plan, just like you would with your coaching staff before a practice. We went over it together of what we've done and what the expectations are as far as how you take care of each other. You're getting good work, but also take care of each other. And they top notch. Meeting. They ran the meeting. They're home. They ran the meeting, and it was a great meeting. And we were able to all get on the same page of what we wanted to do and how we wanted to go about this practice. And it's going to be good work for both teams.
Did you get a good feel for how your running game is working in these kind of things when you're not tackling?
Yeah, of course. Plays that aren't going to the ground, right? When you're in a controlled environment and you're not tackling to the ground, the offensive line's still full go up front. It's still it's just the exception of cutting on the edge or stuff like that. They're full go, so you get a good feel for that. Now, you might not get as good a feel for, the running back would have slipped that, right? Because if you're in an offense-defense meeting, I know Vic's probably saying, no, we would have tackled him there, and Kellen's saying, no, we might have slipped that right there. So that's what you don't get, but working tackling is more with if you're not going to take people to the ground, it's about the approach and getting yourself in position. You can still do that all the way up to the tackle, and then you can do some things that you drill in tackling. So, to be a good run defense, you have to be able to tackle well, and to be a good run offense, you have to be able to break tackles, and it starts up front on both of those things. So in the run game, I definitely feel like you can, in every point of the game, because you're live up front, essentially, you can get a good feel of what it's looking like when you're out there.
Nick, with increased reps offensively, did you learn anything new about Britton Covey that you didn't already know? And working with him for now a third season, where has he shown the most improvement?
Yeah, we've been around Britton a long time, and he's, you can really see his ability when he has the ball in his hands, because that's what he does, right? The sure hands of how he catches punts, and then his ability to maneuver around defenders in open space. And that translates, when you look at a college guy, for instance, you look a lot. I look a lot at the yards after catch of how they are, because that translates to how they're going to be on the line of scrimmage. That translates how they're going to be at the top of the route. That translates how their acceleration is. So we know Britton has a lot of good attributes, and he's had a really nice camp. But not surprising to any of us. I don't think there's anything more we're learning about him because he's been so consistent. He's been so consistently himself for the past 3 years or past two plus years, and he's helped us win a lot of football games.
You got time for a couple more?
Yeah. I think we're doing a good job. I'm excited about the depth that we have there, the guys that we have there. I've told you about the guys that I made a note about Patrick Johnson's toughness and Jalix Hunt's toughness and Nolan Smith's toughness. BG, we know his toughness and his ability, right? Same with Sweaty, same with Bryce. They're going to get those back end guys. I'm really pleased with just their toughness, their effort. And I don't even want to say back end guys, those guys that are competing for reps, because they're right in the thick of competing for reps. The other guys are get more pub. I get that, but I'm really pleased with those guys and that entire group. I know we'll continue to develop there.
You typically have 3 or 4 of these sessions. You typically have 3 or 4 of these sessions during the summer. Is one sufficient enough for you to learn what you want from joint practices?
Yeah, we're gonna get the good work in today.